Well, let's get another perspective on this now with Barry Pavel, the Senior Vice President and Director of the Scowcroft Center for Strategy and Security at the Atlantic Council. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. Good to have you back with us, Barry. Firstly, there are reports that U.S. national security officials are quietly looking to warn Nancy Pelosi of the risks of a potential visit to Taiwan. Why would they be looking to do that? What are those risks?
Well, I think this is an administration that is being very careful regarding unnecessarily escalating or getting into a spiral. You see this in Ukraine with, despite very robust support of weapons supplied to the Ukrainians for their legitimate self-defense, you see a lot of kind of anguish, anxiety, in some ways hand-wringing over giving them other weapons, that potentially could be used to do crazy things like bomb Moscow, which the Ukrainians would never do. And so I think, there are a lot of issues on the U.S.-China plate right now, and I think they're looking to not add any new issues. My own view is this visit should go ahead. It's not the first time that a Speaker of the House has gone to Taiwan. It's not a military threat to China, and certainly China doesn't like it, but I think it's a bit overblown that they're getting so hysterical about something that's already happened before. So it certainly is not without precedent.
We are expecting, as I mentioned, the US and Chinese leaders to speak over the phone on Thursday. Do you expect Xi Jinping to make a last-ditch attempt to perhaps persuade Joe Biden to overrule Nancy Pelosi's potential visit to Taiwan?
I mean, he may do so, but he also may leave it to his, senior ministers and spokespeople to do so as well, and, reserve his time for much more consequential issues like the trading relationship, the tariffs, the military buildup, which I could not disagree more with your previous speaker about who's changing the status quo. It's China that's invading Taiwan on a routine basis with their aircraft having to be intercepted in Taiwan's air defense zone. It's China that is flooding Taiwan with disinformation on a daily basis. It's China that's doing the coercion and trying to change the status quo. It's not anywhere close to Taiwan seeking independence. I was just in Taiwan for a week and met with all the senior leaders of the government. That word did not come up in any of the discussions. So that suggestion to me is without basis.
This comes at a time when the Russian war on Ukraine is still going on, and that's intensified fears of perhaps a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan. How realistic is that prospect, given what we're seeing in Ukraine at the moment?
Well, I think there's lessons being learned as this conflict continues to go on. I mean, obviously, it has spurred a new approach in Taiwan, and with the help of their democratic partners, in terms of how to better conduct their own self-defense, looking at some of the concepts and capabilities that the Ukrainians have used so effectively against an invading force. I also would imagine it's given Xi Jinping pause. Does he want images of missiles destroying residential buildings and hospitals in Taiwan, and then thereby causing an enormous set of global sanctions against China and contributing to constraints on the Chinese economy? I don't think he wants anything like that. So I do think that there are lessons being learned on both sides that, my mind, I think this has helped to reduce the chances of a near-term Chinese invasion, especially before the 20th Party Congress in November. I don't think Xi Jinping wants to accidentally get into a war. So I think all this talk about, Chinese military aircraft intercepting the speaker's plane, I think those are ridiculous. I think he does not want anything like a risk of an incident before he is anointed as the party leader for life.
Okay, Barry, Pavel, we'll have to leave it there, but really good to get your analysis as always. Thank you again.